Barbara, when we look at this right now, I think a lot of people, the market overall, got excited by the fact that we did get a record $2 trillion stimulus bill pushed through. The president signed that last week. And we just heard Ivanka Trump talking about those checks potentially making their way to small businesses here in the country by Friday, as soon as Friday. So when you look at that, obviously you invest in a lot of companies through Shark Tank. You deal with a lot of business owners, small business owners. What are you hearing about the struggles that they're dealing with right now in trying to figure out whether or not they should furlough workers, how hard it's going to be for them to make ends meet as they await this aid, and the uncertainty down the road?
Well, first off, I'm surprised to hear those checks are going to be arriving on Friday, because I have many small businesses that have been applying and having a hard time even applying for the help. So we'll see what Friday brings. But what every small business owner is right now is very scared, and they should be. They have reasons to be scared. When I spoke with the 70 some odd businesses I've invested in over the years on Shark Tank, I can tell you that the average entrepreneur in the last 2 weeks that I'm working with have fired between 25 and 30% of their employees. That's a lot of people. And so I'm expecting, unless something really happens that's dramatic, that turns us around, which we're all hoping for the stimulus bill to do that, that translates into a very high unemployment rate. Every one of my entrepreneurs are planning to apply for help. I'm wondering how long the help is going to go on. I could see it working for 2 to 3 months. After that, I'm worried again, already early. But what they are doing is the smart ones are shifting their models. They're getting more creative. They're making the teams tighter. They're communicating with the people, even though they're all working at home. They've made them a tight team by talking to them every day online. So the smart ones will come through. But the great majority of the investments I made, I don't expect them to make it, honestly, through this trough.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, that's surprising to hear, because those would be some of the better companies, you would think, the ones that you invested in through the show and have the platform of that too. But earlier, your fellow shark, Mark Cuban, was weighing in on Yahoo Finance today, saying that capitalism is what has saved us here. And you wonder whether or not that would be the case with all the money right now getting redistributed to these companies that are struggling. We have seen, the question there on whether small businesses will get the same kind of aid that some of these larger businesses that have been able to lobby for will be getting as well. But we are seeing large companies in the U.S. step up through all this. When you look at GM working with Ventec Life Systems to create ventilators, you can look at Ford and Toyota doing the same to create PPE for nurses on the front lines, distilleries making hand sanitizer. There's a lot going on. But what have you made about the way companies have been able to step up in such a short amount of time to try and help out here, and the ingenuity of some of these companies out there to hop in?
Yeah. Well, these smaller companies are, in a way, almost deserve more credit, because they have less resources to rely on. They have less people to employ in whatever endeavor they want. With the very small businesses that I've been involved in, the ones that are going to make it, they have been very creative to weather the storm. I know my Cousin's Maine Lobster, which is a series of restaurants and lobster trucks, got all their trucks on the road. They've gotten all the orders online, and they're delivering into neighborhoods so they could deliver their rolls. Now, that might sound like a big deal, but their sales are off almost 70%, and now they're only off 40%. That's a sizable difference. You have companies like Pipcorn who are out there and making all their popcorn, but giving a full third of their revenue in popcorn to all the nurses around the New York, Connecticut area. So you have to applaud them. They're doing what they can. And you have Grace and Lace, who actually switched their production from ladies' clothing to face masks that they're giving away for free, and their supporters are paying for the postage to get them to the medical community that needs it. So, but it's interesting that the people who have in small business sometimes the least resources but the most conviction find a way to help out. And these are exactly the entrepreneurs I'm not the least bit worried about, because they have a great way of standing on their feet and making room for the next guy and really making a difference. So, I mean, to me, that's a happy note in all of this. But the ones that are less capable are really not thinking that way. They're thinking, who's going to pull me through? And all the stimulus package in the world isn't going to be the lottery. And no matter what help they get, they're just not going to be pulled through.
Yeah, no, but worthy of a shout out, no doubt, when we think about small businesses grappling with all this, with fewer resources, still trying to make things work, and you're there to help them out through it. Barbara Corcoran, the shark that we all love on ABC Shark Tank. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Make sure you watch us on Friday night, new time slot.
There you go. Wait, what time slot is it? Got to clear my schedule.
8:00 Eastern time.
There you go. Barbara Corcoran, love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Stay safe.
Thanks for the promo.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.